In this video, I show you with a macro lens how to tattoo solid lines and how to properly fill them afterward. I filmed again in my tattoo studio and show you every detail. In my opinion, Ganga Black from Dynamic is the best black, which is why we're using it for this tattoo. It's important to always shake the ink well before use. Today, I'm working with the Fold Pro from Dragonhawk. You can find all products in the video description. With the code fanitattoo, you save 10% on your order. I've already shaved and disinfected the skin, and now I'm applying a thin layer of stencil stuff. If you want to recreate this tattoo at home, you can also find the download link for the stencil in the video description. The tattoo is approximately 4.5 centimeters wide. I'm using a 7-round liner needle, which is perfect for creating clean outlines. As always, I do my lines with 8 volts and a 4.2 millimeter stroke. My goal is to tattoo all the outer lines first and then fill the areas using different techniques. Especially at the beginning, I tattoo very carefully to get to know my client's skin better. I prefer to go a little too shallow and go over the same line again rather than going too deep right away and possibly causing a blowout. We're filming here with a macro lens at 2x magnification to give you a very deep insight into my way of working. Of course, you can see every tiny inaccuracy, even those that would barely be visible or not visible at all to the human eye, but that's exactly what I like to show you. In this shot, you can clearly see that you can always stop if you feel like you can't continue the line cleanly. Then you simply pick up new ink and continue tattooing in the same line. With this lens, you can even see the structure of the individual needles. It's incredible how detailed these shots are. Many of you have messaged me asking what to do when your lines aren't saturated enough or too much ink is coming from your cartridge. There are various needle types that differ in construction. Here in this image, you can see a 7-round liner needle with a large opening at the front, and in this image, a 7-round liner needle with a small opening at the front. Even though it's the same needle type, they are built differently, which affects ink flow. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Instead, focus on adjusting the needle correctly so you can get great results with the equipment you have. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Another important factor is the ink you use. In this image, you can see an ink that is very thick. As a result, the ink flow is noticeably worse. If you're using ink like this, I recommend thinning it with shading solution, mixing it well, and it'll become more fluid. Here's how to adjust the needle. With this twisting motion, you can set how far the needle protrudes from the cartridge. Let's start with shading. To help you visualize how important it is to set the needle correctly, I'll show you the difference between various settings. We'll start with 5 millimeters. Even though the ink is very fluid, the distance between the needle tip and the cartridge is too great. As a result, not enough ink reaches the skin. Now I shorten the needle to about 3 millimeters, so the ink flows out more easily than before. I often work with this setting. Here, you get very good ink flow and can shade with precision. That's already looking pretty good, but there's still a bit too little ink coming out. So I adjust again and leave the needle sticking out about 2 millimeters. If I now rotate the needle just 0.5 millimeter further into the cartridge, even more ink flows out. Now I've found the perfect ink flow. As you can see, I also need to keep testing until it fits just right. Now let's move on to packing. When the needle is sticking out too far from the cartridge, like here, it becomes difficult to fill a solid area. Same principle again. If I want more ink to hit the skin, I need to shorten the needle so that the distance between the needle tip and the cartridge is reduced. With this setting, the filled area already looks pretty good, but if I shorten the needle just a bit more, it should be perfect. And as you can see, the final filled area looks the best because the needle was set correctly. Now let's look at lining. Here, the needle is sticking out almost 5 millimeters. The line already looks pretty good, but the ink flow wasn't perfect. Now I let the needle stick out just a tiny bit from the cartridge. But because the distance is too short, too much ink hits the skin. It's still possible to work this way, but it's not comfortable. So let me show you how to tattoo the perfect line. I set the needle to stick out 4 millimeters from the cartridge, and this gives me perfect ink flow. This topic isn't easy to explain, but here's a quick summary. Remember, if too much ink comes out, the distance between the needle tip and the cartridge is too small. If too little ink comes out, the distance is too large. So the most important thing is to find the sweet spot in between, and if you remember that, you're already one step closer to your goal. In this camera angle, you can see how it looks to me without the macro lens. The difference is huge, but of course I'm showing you both. In the future, I'll be producing even more videos for you and showing you how to tattoo simple designs on real skin. When I started tattooing, I did designs like this one very often. These are exactly the kinds of videos I wished for back then, and that's why I'm producing them for you now. If you want to support my channel, I'd really appreciate a free subscription and a like. If you feel that a line isn't 100% solid, you can simply rework it. Of course, you have to be careful not to overwork the skin, but to a certain extent, this is absolutely possible. The positioning of the client is also very important. I laid him down on the tattoo bed and stabilized the leg with an additional small pillow. I would never tattoo a design like this while the client is sitting, because that allows for too much movement. Here I'm tattooing at about 0.5 millimeters deep, which is completely sufficient. I could also tattoo at 0.8 millimeters deep, but that's not necessary. My tattoos almost always heal very nicely, and it's important to me not to create scars. I'd rather do a little touch-up from time to time than cause a scar or a blowout by tattooing too deep. In this shot, you can clearly see how I stabilize my hand with my free hand while simultaneously stretching the skin. Here as well, I reworked the line a little because I wasn't 100% satisfied. I want to thank all of my channel members. No matter which membership level you choose, your support means a lot to me and allows me to continue creating videos like these. If you're a member at the Unlock course content level, you also get access to all real-time videos as well as my complete tattoo portrait course. In this camera angle, you can clearly see how deep I'm tattooing. This can be a bit confusing with the macro lens, which is why I'm now showing you a few lines as they would appear to the human eye. I started this line, didn't have a good feeling about it, and simply stopped. This is very important to understand. The client doesn't care how many times you stop a line and then start again. I only continue working when I feel good about it. These can be small things that bother me. For example, the ink flow, hand position, movements from the client, or simply a moment of lost concentration. In situations like that, I'd rather stop, maybe take a short break, and then start again. To sum it up, you decide when and how you work. It's your art and your craft, and you determine the entire process. Always trust your feeling and your experience, because that's exactly where the quality and the soul of your work come from. Now I set the stroke to 3.9 millimeters. With the first packing technique, I make small circular movements and first observe how the client's skin reacts and whether it absorbs the ink properly. If something doesn't feel right here, I either need to adjust the needle setup or change the number of volts. In this case, everything worked perfectly right away. With this technique, I first fill the area toward one edge. The advantage is that I don't have to focus on both sides at the same time, which can be especially helpful for beginners. In the second pass, I do exactly the same on the other side. It's important that both filled areas overlap slightly in the middle so there are no empty spots. With the next packing technique, I make small zigzag movements. You can imagine this like creating many small lines next to each other. This method is great if you don't feel comfortable with small circular movements. It's a very good alternative. Because this is a small area, I can let the needle stick out further from the cartridge and still get enough ink flow. If this were a larger area, I would turn the needle further back into the needle cartridge so more ink comes through. However, then I wouldn't be able to work as precisely as I can here. This technique is the one I mainly use. I make even circular movements and work directly on both sides, all the way to the edges. The advantage is that it makes me twice as fast. With this technique, it's important not to make the circular movements too fast, so enough ink can get into the skin. In my opinion, this method is more suitable for advanced artists, but beginners can absolutely practice it on fake skin. With this technique, I work with elongated circular movements and try to cover as much skin as possible with each motion. This allows the ink to be packed very quickly and efficiently, making the technique overall quite fast. It's important to stay calm and controlled so the ink sits evenly in the skin. Since you're working with larger movements here, you need a good feel for pressure, speed, and how the skin reacts. That's why this technique is more suitable for advanced artists. However, beginners can practice it very well on fake skin to develop a feel for the process and control. In the end, every technique is built on practice, patience, and trust in your own hand. Take the time to find your rhythm. With every pass, you'll become more confident and better. This is what the finished tattoo looks like. You can find all products in the video description. If you want to learn how to tattoo a realistic portrait, check out this video here.